size, and this is one that Liz did with me just now. I've just got off the call with her. So yes, no is really getting clarity in your own mind is what are the projects you should be saying no to, and I guess drilling down on what are the projects you should be saying yes to. But that's a lot easier. So let's start with the no, because it's probably a better place to start. And Liz was sort of, I'm not sure, which ones to, and then how to say no, right? So I'll give you some examples on that. So look, we just went through the exercise and we talked about budget. What are the no budgets? What are the no clients? What are the no project types? I guess this was one of them. And I'll just show you what she put down. Yours may be similar-ish, but hopefully it helps. So budget, you can put down a number, minimum, she sort of said 200, and then we said, well, why don't we make it 300? So anything below 300 is a no. That's not to say that some of them, actually, we had an interesting discussion with clients, and she said, because some of them, they might come to me with a $350,000 budget, but I know that it'll end up being 300. And how do I get people to upscale their expectations? And we talked about the fact that maybe you could say, if it was true, that we could spend $150,000 and make kind of cosmetic changes to your house, and it would be a cost, and it would make the house look nicer and a better place to live in. If we actually spend a little bit more and spent $300-400, then we can make substantial changes to the home, changes that would add value to the home. So that's if you spend $150, you might not get that back, but you get a nicer house. You spend $300-400, you get a better house, much better house to live in, but it adds $400,000-500,000 value to the property, right? So if that was true, then that would be a very attractive option for some people. They might go, well, I'd rather spend $300 and make money than spend $150 and it hasn't really improved the value of the property. So that might be a way of doing it. Client type. Obviously yours might be very different, but she didn't like these things. She didn't like the idea of an absent spouse who had lots of opinions and the power to veto projects. So then we talked about, all right, well, how do we get around that? And the answer is rules of the road. That we might have a document, and you'll see one of these in the training. There's the MOMO, rules of the road, and the vault, where you might add, spouses need to be at the meetings. And if you're not at the meeting, that's fine, but you give the power to the other spouse to make decisions or something like that, whatever works for you. Project type, for her, were primarily structural projects that required engineer, just rubber stamp. I just want a rubber stamp, or how much for a set of drawings. We did say you may need to qualify that, because when people ask that question, sometimes it may not mean the same thing. Some of them may be okay, but it is a warning signal if they just ask how much for a set of drawings, or they're talking about a rubber stamp. If construction's already started for her, she didn't like those ones either. So, okay, she's got some clarity around that. How do we say no? I mean, yes, I guess are the opposite. They're ideally a budget of $600K or more. Client wants to be engaged, wants to follow my process. Good and fast, but not cheap is what they're after. They ask good questions. They're good people. And project type for Liz, residential, portfolio worthy, photographs well. If it is commercial, I'd want a team. If it was residential, I'm looking for people with homes, not houses. I like quirky elements. So all this stuff is good. I mean, the yes side's much easier. You kind of get a sense that yes. One of the keys to running a successful firm is shutting out the type of clients and projects which are not going to move your business forward. And so while the yeses are kind of often easy, the no's need to be clarified. This is where you make your money on this exercise, is getting clarity on the no's and working out for you what the no's are. Now, how do you say no? We came up with three options. I'm not your best fit for this type of project. So we're trying to do everything respectfully, obviously. I'm not the best type of fit for this type of project. My minimum project size is $300K for, on the construction. Well, this one here is probably most likely one that most people would use. Unfortunately, I'm too busy right now with other projects. I wouldn't be able to busy with other projects right now. So while I'd love to do your project, it looks a fantastic little project for with your minuscule budget. Unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to get to your project for about another 8 months or something like that. So, there you go. It's not you. It's not your project. It's me. It's me. I'm just too busy. I'm sorry. Okay, so there you go. The yes, no. Obviously, the no side is more important than the yes because the yeses are easy. And then make sure you've got some ways to opt out gracefully. The LCC is another good one. If they've got a small budget, often they won't want to pay. You might up the price on the LCC. And they go, no, I'm not paying for that. And you go, okay, so it's your choice not to work with me. That's okay. I respect that. And off they go. Okay, food for thought. You need to do your yes-no list. Really important if you're going to move forward. Why? Because these no's can really hold you back. If you work with the no's instead of rejecting them, then they can lose you money, they can cost you money, they can cost you time, they can be aggravating, they can suck the life force out of you. They're just not worth doing. So the quicker we cut them, the quicker that we can get focused on these ones.